Welcome to Uplink, where we explore the world of digital infrastructure, uncovering the technology fueling AI and cloud innovation with the leaders making it happen. I'm your host, Michael Reid, and my guest today is Elena Chernykh, Head of Europe Enterprise Sales at CITIC Telecom CPC. From aspiring diplomat to tech pioneer, Elena joins me to discuss the critical challenge of bridging the digital infrastructure gap between the East and the West, and her vision for a future of self-healing, AI-powered networks. Let's dive in. Welcome to Uplink, which is a bit of a podcast, and this is the first time we've gone to Europe, so we're really excited to have you on the show. So we're joined by Elena, and she's the Head of Europe Enterprise Sales based out of Amsterdam for CITIC. And I thought we'd just start with a little bit of a understanding on how many languages can you speak? That's the first thing I want to know.
I speak English like I speak Dutch because I just live there.
You live in Dutch? So
I live in Netherlands.
So you just thought you'd learn Dutch?
Even though like they don't need me to speak Dutch because like basically no one speaks Dutch to me. Well, they try and then they hear my accents and try to switch to English immediately. But yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
it's part
so
of
two.
The culture. Yeah, two. Then I know Turkish and in the university I studied Persian. I believe I still can speak a bit, though it will
Persian,
take
Turkish, English.
Yeah, and my
Dutch.
native is Russian.
So
I will never forget.
Five?
That's fine.
Yes, well, there you go. That's impressive. So thanks for joining us on the show. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your role and your company? And then I think it's a fascinating company because what you're doing is connecting East and West, and you're also then gone well and truly beyond just connectivity. And so I'd love you to share what you're seeing from a customer perspective, how things are changing. You talked a little bit about AI before. But yeah, let's maybe just start with your company and what you're actually bringing to the table for companies across the world, actually.
Yeah, actually, like CITIC Telecom CPC is a digital ICT enabler, a company who is helping European enterprises, not only European, but let's say everything which is not in Asia, to come to Asia.
Okay. So you're connecting Asia, bringing Asia to the rest of the world.
Yeah, we are bringing Asia to the rest of the world, but also other way around. So we're helping Asian companies to expand their geography towards Europe, US, and everything which is overseas.
And you're growing. It's a busy time for you.
Yeah, it has to be always a busy time. So, when I stepped in the company, it was 8 years ago. I still remember that because it was just my second kid was 4 months old when I started to work at CITIC Telecom CPC.
Wow.
So that I remember how long I worked there.
Yes. And have you always been in the head of Europe for enterprise sales?
Oh, no, they're putting me everywhere what is challenging. So when
you solve the problems. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a problem solver. That's true. So when I started to work for CITIC Telecom CPC, I was there was no enterprise business at all.
Nothing.
So it was like
founding enterprise sales leader.
Yeah,
yes.
So that's I started from the very beginning being a single person there who is dealing with this kind of stuff. And it was very challenging, very interesting for me because I was also like having a carrier telecom background in my past. But then, all over the sudden, I decided that that's something that really helps me to grow.
Yes.
Also professionally. So I started over there. And in the beginning, I was basically responsible for everything related to end user experience or customer experience. Then it was growing, and it was growing rather fast.
Yeah.
Starting with one customer, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I moved to the Netherlands because the headquarters of our European offices in Amsterdam and the Netherlands. So all the management is there, and now I'm leading the cross-regional team. So we have a bit of people there, and it's growing.
Yeah,
I cannot complain.
So, I think you've got about 1,000 people now in the organization, roughly.
Yeah, it's more. It's much more than 1,100 currently, and it's in Europe we're not that big. I must admit, but it's also because of the people. Our team, every single matters. So every person is doing a lot of job.
Yeah, okay.
Even besides of what is
nice.
written in their job in their job description.
Yes.
So that's the secret.
And so what are you seeing? I mean, you're crossing this east and west sort of connectivity piece. What are you seeing from your customers, enterprise customers? What are they trying to do? Where are you helping them connect to? I think you're also delivering different services as you've sort of progressed, probably originally maybe telecom, and now I know cybersecurity is a big thing for you, and you're also mentioning AI and what customers are looking to do there. So I'd love you to share sort of what your customers are seeking help from you, and also what trends are you seeing?
In the beginning, it was just connecting West and East. It was important for big enterprises to have a European interface towards their Asian footprints. Yeah. And that's how we started. But now we see that the market itself, the speed of the development, of the economy development, of the technology development is so high, we have to keep up.
And it's not an easy thing to do. There's not a great deal of companies that can enable that connectivity to occur. It's actually, I mean, it's not something Megaport offers, and that's where our partnership sort of comes into being. But I guess maybe share some of the examples of the customers you were mentioning. You've got, it's not just one vertical, it's all sorts.
Yeah, it's indeed, it's a lot. And we're really not really dependent on one vertical. In the beginning, it was more like traditional businesses, like manufacturing. The companies, imagine that they have own factories in China, for example, or in Asian Pacific.
Yes.
But then, if you talk about manufacturing, there is also bank who are supporting this international trade stuff. Then logistic companies, which is also logical. So actually all the businesses are connected to each other.
Yes, pharmaceuticals also. I think you mentioned some cool electric car companies that are sort of scaling and growing as well. So you're crossing every part of it. And you've seen it speed up the connectivity requirement. And you've also seen it, I think, cybersecurity and AI. So maybe share what you're seeing on those sides, or the problems you're solving for your customers.
Yeah, absolutely. But if you start from the network, network is traditional. It used to be traditional. The technologies are changing, of course. What's happening right now is the AI and machine learning are. It's very trendy now to use, and basically, I think every business already using at some point, some way, yes. And the challenge which AI and machine learning are creating is the high demand for computing.
Yes.
For computing resources. And when companies are using computing resources and they got to use it, it can be scaled up and scaled down, be very agile, flexible, and so on. They're also expecting the same from the network.
Yes.
And then it's another thing which is happening right now is network as a service. So the scalable up and down networks that can really be adaptive to the clouds, to the computing resources. What we also see is that AI and machine learning applications are used globally by companies. But from the other side, what we also see is companies are becoming more and more sensitive to the localization of the data.
Yeah, absolutely.
And from that perspective, it's very challenging to control your data when you're using a lot of AI.
Yeah. You stick it up into something, you don't know where it goes, and then you lose it. So, yeah.
Yeah, and you don't know how this data is used. I mean, of course, every time you're getting a lot of pages of what you're actually supposed to read before signing it. But who does it? So that's the thing.
Accept everything. Yeah. Yes.
So that's actually was a driver for us to start own AI development.
Yeah.
So we have a team who is working on that.
And so how do you solve that? You're actually building AI?
Well, yes, we don't invent the wheel from the very scratch. So we use, I think, we use DeepSeek in the background.
Yeah, but you run that on premise, or you control where the data sits.
Correct.
Yes.
So our target is to create a product for companies. It's always customized because you cannot do really AI everything, which would be very universal for the particular use of the companies, but of the businesses. But our value is that we are focusing on creating a control environment.
Yes.
AI-based mechanism with a control environment.
Fascinating. So that's pretty new, presumably.
Yeah.
Or
that's new. And
yes.
we have also know-hows. I'm not sure that I am allowed to say it, so I will not.
Okay.
But we have a know-how that really a deal changer.
Yes.
And it will help us also to grow and to develop the product up to the level that it will be fully compliant with the customer needs, with the data regulations, with the privacy.
And you're delivering these services all around the world, or are there particular regions you focus on?
Yeah, we are delivering it all around the world.
Yeah.
So now, we are enabling also we have own clouds as well. So we have 21 clouds around the world. So
Just
we are
21.
enabling now AI also in the cloud environment in our footprints. And yes, it's very close to the production release. There's still work to do. But our people are very busy with that.
Yeah.
And that's basically our focus right now, together with the cybersecurity. But cybersecurity is also becoming very AI-based.
Yeah, true. Yeah. So how do you deal with the cyber component? What is it more as a managed service piece that you offer to your customers, or how does that play out?
Yes, it's a fully managed service for our customers. Originally it was also driven by the demand and by the regulation. So regulation in Asia is
and different in every country.
It's different in any country. It's also one of the trends which are now booming not only in particular regions, it's actually everywhere. And more distributed data you have, more accent and more focus you need to give on cybersecurity. Not to be any more only responsive thing, but also a proactive instrument.
We're seeing this, Megaport's seen all of this requirement for sovereign clouds to be built, sovereign AI farms, sovereign, i.e. data never leaves the country, network never leaves the country. It's interesting for us because we're in 26 countries and the network is totally automated across that platform. And so we're now seeing government agencies in particular asked to make sure that the data stays locally. And it's not just one country. Most countries are trying to solve this at the moment. And I think a lot of them are concerned. It's moving so fast, I think. So it's hard for them to actually keep up with what's happening with AI. I mean, DeepSeek, as you mentioned before, sort of only came out at the start of the year. And all of a sudden, you've got a practice that's actually rolling that out on infrastructure inside sovereign regions. It's just moving so quickly. Governments struggle to keep up with that. But it's fascinating to see that you've already built out a practice to go and service that. Who knows what's next, So it's moving really quickly. But it's cool that you've already solved some of these challenges for your customers. It's just going to get harder and more complex, I think.
Correct. And it will penetrate basically in all the sectors and all the sectors also in standard telecom portfolio.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of geopolitics playing out at the moment, and we won't go into politics, but it's more of just interesting to see the interdependencies that the US has on all the manufacturing plants throughout either China or Thailand or India. When COVID hit, we realized this huge reliance on the chips coming from TSMC and so forth that are, really challenging for the world because you've got these single points of failures for the world that are outside of these countries that probably they didn't realize. So you're obviously servicing a lot of the countries that sit into this space. How does it play out for you at the moment? Do you actually see what the impact of some of the tariffs that the US is sort of throwing out? Does it impact you much, or is it more your customers that are servicing and going to all of those different locations? How does it play out?
Yeah, definitely. There was has been a lot of said recently regarding tariffs, right? And that there will be also China will imply the tariffs on
the other way,
US brands. And yeah, for us, it's a huge impact because we still use a lot of US technologies in our service portfolio.
Oh, yes, of course, yeah.
So we use VMware, we use VeloCloud for
of
SD-WAN
course.
networks. And
so when you procure the infrastructure in, yes, I didn't think of it that way.
It will first impact us, but also will impact our customers very severely.
Of course, yeah.
Because if the same service that they were using for like, I don't know, 100 euros will start to be like 200, 300 euros per month, that's already a big impact. And if you have like a lot of locations, then it creates very big.
It's interesting. That's of course the procuring of US-based infrastructure. Megaport we have a huge amount of network infrastructure that we deploy all around the world. It's funny, different countries have really, really different tariffs to actually land. In Brazil, for example, it's very expensive to buy infrastructure, any infrastructure, just because of the government tariffs that you have, just bringing it in. So we see the impact. And so when you have these changes flow through quickly and rapidly, it's really difficult to sort of keep up with how it's playing out. But it's good to see that I think your customers seem to still be growing at the moment, seem to still be needing more services across East and West, connecting those two pieces. What are you seeing from companies that are trying to move into Asia from Europe? Do they come and contact you to help get access? I know that's how we sort of first got connected.
Yeah, that's basically very different markets. So yes, of course, when you company business, it should be business with a good ambitions to go to that market because it's starting from regulation, the way how people react to the products, that's customer experience, the way how you're promoting, the way how you're visualize your product is absolutely different. It's hard to understand what you need to do as a first step.
Yes.
And ICT sector is very regulated.
Yes.
And here, you're really better to rely on the partner rather than do anything yourself on your exploration journey.
Yeah.
It would be quite challenging.
Yes.
So we are helping with that. We cover most of the needs.
How many countries roughly do you cover off?
And now we cover 160 countries around the world.
Just a few. Yeah.
It's just quite a few. And
that's cool.
we are growing, and we increase density also for our presence in every country.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, in Asia it's more because we are originally from there, but also in Europe we are following the demand of the customers and opening. Also in Middle East, recently we opened and POP-in point of presence in Dubai.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It's also like a growing region
right
now.
It's fascinating. Yeah, there's so much change happening at the moment, so much investment. I mean, we just saw over the weekend the US went to the Saudis, and huge investment, like hundreds of billions of dollars going into just AI in the region. So, yeah, really, really fascinating space. I'd love to pivot the chat and just get some of your thoughts on the industry and, how long have you been in the industry for? Well, actually,
then you can guess my age.
Yes,
if you start talking about that, but it's quite a long journey, yes.
And you enjoy the industry, and so what advice would you have for someone looking to join the IT industry? How do you get into it?
Why did I? How did I find myself in the industry? That because I was not a successful diplomat. So, like, basically, I graduated from a diplomatic academy, and I was supposed to be a diplomat, but then. And then I decided that my region was Iran and the language was Persian, and I was thinking that what are your chances to be successful over there? No, nothing, zero. So and then by coincidence I started to work for a mobile operator, and then from there to a fixed line operator.
Yes.
Then started basically from telecom when I was 26, 27 years old.
Yeah.
And from there I never, because that's my love. That's my life journey as well. And it develops so fast.
Yes.
And, probably if you, in this market, in this time, if you find a company who is doing only telecom services, probably it's already bankrupt or about to be bankrupt. Because it used to be very telecom, and now it's very, very technological.
Yes, so, tech. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's, and you are also developing yourself, because new technologies are coming every day.
Yes.
And you have to keep up. You have to keep
learning.
Rolling and still bringing value to company, to your customers, to businesses, to your team.
Yeah.
So that makes me be in constant development of myself.
So you think it's a good industry to get involved in still?
Absolutely. And from one side, it's a bit stable, I would say, more stable than, let's say, something which is, I don't know, like Insta babies or how you call it, and all that stuff.
Yeah, you might be able to make some money for a little bit on Instagram, but longer term, you need a career.
Yes.
Yeah. It's funny, a lot of people end up in technology or IT from weird paths. Like I studied aerospace engineering and couldn't get a job in aerospace because there was no jobs in aerospace. And I guess you end up in tech in some way. Nowadays, there's obviously degrees for it, but there's still so many paths you can land in tech. It's a great place to be. I think that, that piece, like you said, sort of being curious or learning all the time. There's so much to learn, keep you interested. So it's a fun place. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially when you're on the commercial part of the company. Yeah, that's something that the company is also asking you to think together, like, where we go next, what we are going to do tomorrow, what are the demands, what your customers are looking for.
Yes.
And basically that makes you always to think and to create a plan for the growth.
Well, it's impressive that like I said before, you've already built out AI practices that you're actually rolling out. DeepSeek, as an example, which has only been around for like 3 or 4 months or 5 months or whatever it is. I don't even know where we are now, 4 months. And you're rolling that out on infrastructure in different sovereign locations, delivering that to your customers. Like, what's next? Who knows? Like, where do we go to from here?
It's really going to be an impressive journey. And in the near future, the speed of the penetration of AI and machine learning will be more and more. And you see now that, we talk about networks. That's something that not yet very much using AI, but in the nearest future, the network will be self-healing. The machine learning the machines will actually manage it, so that detect the faults, heal it, also forecast and scale up, scale down bandwidth, manage the routing.
Yes.
Something which is now done with engineers manually.
People looking at charts and changing routes because a chart's gone up, they can do it automatically now.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's something that will be done by artificial intelligence. And probably then engineers can focus on something else.
Yeah, well, they're probably building out more interesting features and functions. That's like our purpose is to constantly add interesting tech that solves the customer problems that we can automate at scale, planet scale, totally automated. Well, this has been fun. Is there anything else you'd like to share, particularly around if I'm a customer, why would I look at your company? When would we think of you?
If customer is looking for a reliable partner who can help them to expand internationally, then we are the ones who are helping.
And you deliver to a lot of locations that most companies can't deliver to, I think is probably a good differentiator.
Yes, we are also, vendor neutral. So we work with everyone around the world. We help in different locations. We are specialists in Asia Pacific and in China. We have local presence. It helps us also to localize the requirements and to convert it in a good and stable ICT environment for every customer that's with us.
It's cool. And I mean, you're solving problems that most companies can't solve, I think.
Yes.
We certainly can't solve a lot of these problems, particularly the connectivity piece. So it must be great for companies to come to you who need that access.
Absolutely. And you need to know, what's going on locally. And for Megaport, I believe like you will have a great future, because now we see the expanding demand to clouds.
Yeah.
It's also it's very much connected to the amount of IoT devices that are being used, this amount of data that is being stored and analyzed in clouds.
Yes.
And the multi-cloud portfolio of every standard business is impressive.
Yeah.
And it will drive into the networks in the end, because this data needs to be transferred in one way and around. So I believe that a company like yours, like Megaport, with your approach, how you do business, being very responsive, fast, also helping your partners to get the quote for connectivity, to manage routers globally, to manage customers' infrastructure, and to get everything very fast.
Yes.
And scale up and scale down. That's very impressive.
Still unique. We've been doing it for 11 years. It's still...
But it's still still, you're still in this blue ocean, I would say, because it's not so many companies, and I used to know a couple of them, but one is already out. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of tried. It's very hard to automate physical, digital things. The only way you can do it is if you build it from the ground up, and most companies come through an acquisition path, particularly telcos, like you were mentioning before. The more you acquire, the harder it is to automate, because the infrastructure is all different. Someone's built it in different ways, and so it's almost impossible to automate. If you can't automate it, it can't be done quickly. It has to be, and you also then have a huge cost to manage the network, which is why we're lucky. We've got 30,000 connections, 950 to 960 data centers, with 6,000 fiber connections and 3,000 devices or something like that, and not a single human touches any of it. It's all delivered via code. So that's sort of our secret sauce. But the only way you can build that is, from what we can see, is really ground up. So we're lucky that we've sort of been able to grow organically and get to a critical mass of revenue and scale and size that we can continue to add that value to our customers. We've seen other companies try, but just can't cross that critical mass, and therefore it doesn't work. So we're lucky, but we're in growth phase, and so we appreciate your partnership. There's lots of customers that we have that are trying to scale into all sorts of regions around the world that we don't support and service, and so thank you for the support that you've brought to our partners.
Thank you to you. I believe that we will create more and more opportunities together, and create a big success story out of our partnership.
Beautiful. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.